Hey there, magic makers. Can you believe it's been 2 weeks since we completed our latest chapter of the 7 Magic Words Challenge? It feels like it's been a while. And yet I feel like we just finished. And, oftentimes when we've done this in past years, it's at least 3 months between these cycles. They're exhilarating and exhausting. And at the end of 7 Magic Words, it's time to set it aside for a little while. But somehow this time feels different. I realize I'm still thinking in terms of magic words. And as you may know, the way this whole project started was, 4 years ago now. I started my own 365 project. Every day was coming up with a new magic word. So I've definitely learned that this project can and wants to keep going. In that vein, Magic Mondays. This is what we're going to do. Is just sit and consider a word each week. And what's coming through for me right now is harmony. And maybe you want to hold that in the magic words tradition as a word that harmonizes. Harmony. It's a really powerful and important word that we need to sit with right now for all of its truth and all of its difficulty. Harmony wants us to look at it from within. What does it mean to be in harmony inside of yourself? What does it mean to be aligned, body, mind, spirit? What does it mean for the inside to look like the outside? What does it mean to feel as if all of our daily activities are somehow in relationship with the others? That means a sense of integrity. That means a sense of I do what I say I'm going to do. It means that the way we treat our bodies and the way we treat our attention and the way we spend our attention feels a little bit like what we tell others and recommend what other people do. As a mother, as when I'm talking to my 10-year-old about how to manage her digital life and when is too much Minecraft, how am I in harmony with my own relationship with my digital life? When I have that internal harmony, I can experience that external harmony with the people around me. I can speak to my children with integrity. And then there's, of course, this harmony in this sense of how we look at our relationship with others, how we look at racial justice, how we look at how we are dealing with people who sit on the other side of the aisle from us. When is harmony possible, and when does it seem like we're living in permanent and perpetual discord? What do we have to do to sing in harmony with others without violating our own integrity? It's a huge question, and it's an important one, and it's definitely one that I know I'm sitting with. And I can't help but think, as harmony is the word, is it because, of course, we spent the entire weekend watching Hamilton? There were several viewings at our house, including a very important party for some preteens sitting on the front porch with a television outside for a social distancing date that those children desperately needed. But what does Hamilton teach us about harmony when so many people are engaged in watching something all together and really invigorated and excited by a cultural creation that, has been such a phenomenon? And what do we learn by the questions people are asking about what Hamilton really says and what it means to try to reframe the stories of those founding fathers with all of their blindness when it came to race, when it came to sex, when it came to equality in the fullest sense? Because what's harmony when it's presented by some dudes who say all men are created equal? And they don't actually mean all men, and they don't necessarily count women in that at all. Harmony. How is it part of your life? How is it lacking in your life? I, as many of you may know, I do a type of healing work called Chumpy Illumination, or Chill. And in it, we use these 12 Chumpy stones, originally, which come from the Andes in Peru. And it's become sort of, though inspired by these ancient traditions, my teacher and mentor, Eleonora Mendelara of the Sacred Center in Warwick, New York, has really channeled in a new yet ancient healing system that calls on these old roots and also draws in an eclectic vision of lots of different mystery traditions. At any rate, there are 12 chumpy stones, and each one represents a different facet of human consciousness. And the fifth one is harmony. If you think about how it lines up with the chakras, it's the throat chakra. It's that space from which we speak our truth, right? Each one of these chumpy stones has a shadow, has a nega. There's another side to it. Right? Because it is one thing to be in the light, but it's also that sense of, and in that light I contain the shadow. It's that sense of complementary opposites, of yin and yang. The nega, the shadow of harmony, is isolation. How are you isolating yourself right now? Because we have to, because COVID is still everywhere. How are we isolating ourselves? Because sometimes the problems in life are just too damn big. And it's been enough to post some Black Lives Matter memes and to move on and isolate and just go about our daily lives. How have we isolated from friends because relationships have changed in the last 3 months and we don't know what it's like to still be in relationship with people? How has isolation become too much a part of the norm, even more than it was actually necessary? How are you feeling isolated from your own true self? Harmony, a word that harmonizes. Tell me what that word might be for you right now. Tell me your story. What does this magic word harmony inspire for you? If you want to dive deeper, know that I'm always available as a writing coach, as a tarot reader, as an energy healer, as the leader of the Sovereign Writers Circle, where we dive into stuff like this all the time. I'm so glad that you're a magic maker. I'm so glad to count you amongst my circle. I wish you a week of peace, of depth, of creativity, of sovereignty, and of harmony. Blessings. Mwah.